And we're going to finish exactly on time, so that both Ike and I can go to our next class this evening. So sit upright, spread your palms, and just check in with where you're at, because we all have days, we have jobs, we have roles, relationships. So just check in with where you are right now and acknowledge what it's taken to arrive here at this moment. And then exhale. And notice the mood of your body. What mood is here? Is your chest feeling heavy? Or are your feet fidgety? Is your face flushed? Is your abdomen hard and bloated? Is your jaw tense? Or is the skin really droopy and heavy? All these physical experiences have an emotional quality. So check in with your body to see or to feel what its mood might be. And you don't need to necessarily think about it and come up with a word. The importance is in the feeling it, the opening yourself to what it might be or to what it is. You don't have to have a word. Also, you can check in with more obvious things, like your heartbeat and the movement of your breathing. Is it jumpy, fast, slow? Is the out-breath long? Is it even in-breath, even out-breath? So just feel your natural breathing. So if you've just run up the stairs, your breathing will tell you that you've just run up the stairs. Similarly, what's your breathing telling you now? And then notice how we're so well trained that you may have been trying to watch your natural breathing, but actually you were trying to make it even and steady because that's what we wanted it to be. So just notice that as well. So feeling your body as a whole, feel the contact with the ground, feel the buttocks down, feel the skin of the palms touching each other. Feel your body as a whole. Allow each and every pore to open into the room. Open outwards. Allow your body to kind of present itself. Turn up the lights or turn up the volume. And with this real sense of presence, let us chant together. Allowing our whole body to be like a big speaker. our head. So as we bow the head down, this gesture is bowing the head to the heart and lifting the heart up towards the head. Then rest your hands down, open your eyes and raise your head up. Baddha Konasana. Sit on a support if you need, otherwise just go right ahead. I'm sitting on the floor. Remember the work of moving the sacrum in and the inner knees, inner thighs down. The tree of yoga, the 8 limbs or the 8 aspects of yoga. So I'm going to talk, but I still want you to do the posture. So the first couple of aspects is the yamas, Y-A-M-A. They're the roots of the tree. They are connected to our limbs of the body, the organs of action, the legs, the arms, organs of excretion, organs of generation, and the tongue. Press the legs down, sit tall. And what they are is the way that we interact in the world. So the way we interact in the world is very much through these limbs. So I give to you, I receive from you, I create, I work, I go places, we go places with the legs. I can slap someone, or I can caress someone, I can give a helping hand, or I can push someone over. It's the same hand. So we can choose. Are we going to go in this way towards positive direction, yogic direction, or are we going to go towards sort of more negative direction, which brings not such good outcome? Can you have your hands by your hips there with the fingers turned out? Yeah, so that you can move the lower back in. So that's the roots of yoga, is in basically like in non-violence, is how we interact in the world. Non-violence, not stealing, not hoarding. And then there's the trunk, which is how we take care of ourselves. Baddha Konasana. Stretch the inner thighs to the side, knees wide. Lift the side body. Sit on a little height if you need to. And try and soften the groins down. So the trunk of the tree is connected to the second aspect, which is our personal conduct. The first step is our social conduct, and the next step is our personal conduct. So how we wash, how we stay clean, how we eat. So like our diet, and our diet can be our eating diet, how we nourish ourselves through food. It can be our diet through movement. So some people, if you just live at a desk all day, you're not getting a good movement diet. Your body's not going through lots of different movement. So it's important to clear your room so there's not too much furniture, so you sit on the floor, so that you do asana, you go for walks, so the body gets to move in different ways. It's a good movement diet. And then the third is our sensory diet. So what are we taking in through our senses? Do we give our senses a break, or are we always looking at screens? Are we always either on the computer, the tablet, the TV, the sat nav, or do we give ourselves a break? And then stretch your legs forward. Then just simple Vajrasana and Parvatasana. So our personal conduct directly affects our health and well-being, so it's really important. But also our conduct in society affects our well-being. Bring the elbows in, lift the chest. Bring your arms down. And then we have asana, which are the branches of the tree. Did you change the interlock? And stretch up. And then we have pranayama, which we did last week, which is the breathing, the leaves, which is where the energy comes in from the sun and the air into the body. So this week we're on Pratyahara. Bring the arms down and straighten out your legs. Grab 4 foam pads. And place them lengthways like this. So we're going to do Baddha Konasana with the pelvis elevated. So if you can see, I'm just on the very edge of it. And then I'm going to take my shoulders to the floor and get some length in my buttock flesh to begin with. So I'm not arching my back. I'm staying long buttock flesh to the feet. And then keeping that length of the buttock flesh, then you can come to Baddha Konasana. But I don't want you to do it in such a way that you're arching your back massively, because that'll just be a strain at this point in the class. So lie down first with your knees bent and together. So it's like a kind of Setu Bandha, but with the knees bent and the feet are up high on that support. And then tuck the shoulders under so you've got a nice openness in your chest and your trapezius is to your waist and your armpits are nice and open. Exhale, let the abdomen soften. Then keeping the buttock flesh long to the heels, bring the soles of your feet together and stretch the groins wide. And then see that the pubic plate is pointing in the direction of the chest so that you really feel that you're flat on the sacrum. So you get this sense that the sacrum is actually moving into the body as you take the knees wide. Sacrum moves into the body as you take the knees wide. So don't just let the buttocks be completely flappy to the blocks. For a little bit of firmness in the lower buttocks and the outer hips. It's not just a collapse, because if you just completely let go, the waist will lift and your pelvis will tip towards your feet. So because it's the beginning of the class, I want it to be a slightly active way of moving the sacrum into the body and to open up the groins. Pratyahara is connected to the bark of the tree, the covering, the protection, the skin. And it's connected to our senses. Because it's the senses that in some ways also connect us to the outside world. So like I mentioned a few moments ago, part of our yoga practice is to be aware of what we are inputting into our mind or inputting to our senses. And what effect does that have on us? So scary movies at late at night, looking at your phone for half an hour just before you go to bed, waking up in the morning and looking at your phone straight away, listening to the news in the morning before you've done any prayers, any yoga. These sorts of things have an effect. So this is what the Pratyahara is helping us to look at what are we doing in our daily life and how does that affect us internally, how we feel and how we think, and then what our mood is. So this is just part of our ongoing self-study, which of course we do with loads of compassion because we're all doing our best. And we've just got to remember that every time. Even if we know we can do better, we still need to remember I'm doing my best right now. And then gently inch it forward. So just breathe into the breadth of your chest and feel that gladness. Are you in Baddha Konasana there? No, Baddha Konasana, Ikiko. That's it, otherwise the sacrum won't open so much. We're nearly done now, but just at least you can get it for a little bit. Yeah. Or did you bring your knees together? Maybe they got tired. Okay, it was too strong. Okay, let's come out of it. So exhale, bring the knees together. It is quite strong, isn't it? Yeah, and then place your feet on the floor. Lift your hips up to move the blocks out. Feet apart, knees together. And then roll to your side to come up. So we're going to do dog pose with our heels at the wall. So place your heels up on the skirting board. So this will stabilize the sacrum. Dig the heels into the wall and lift the hips up. Press the front of the ankle back. Press the shin back, the thigh back, the hip back. Can you turn your arms, Louise? That's it. So there's a breadth across the shoulders. And then come down to come up to standing. And we're going to be in Tadasana. We're going to come back to the wall in a moment, so just keep your mat where it is. Bring the feet together, firm the legs, stretch your arms by your side, and can you get that feeling of the sacrum moving into the body? And the outer hips gripping in and connecting down to the floor. Then lift the side chest and extend the arms down. Then Rikshasana, tree posture. Raise your right leg up, place the foot on the inner thigh, and just like a moment ago when we were in our Baddha Konasana, I want you to move the sacrum in as you take the knee back. So raise up that right leg, and as you stay in the pose, you can touch the wall if you need to, but really work on moving that right side of the sacrum into the body and the knee out to the side. And then extend the arms up. So you've got this compactness in the hips, and that right buttock is moving underneath you in. Halasana. Feel free to use the wall if you need to, or to hold the shin. Grip the hips so that the foot stays. Good, then release. Other side. So establish the firmness in the ankles and the hips and raise the leg. And then as you take the knee back, move the sacrum in. So there's a firmness in the lower buttock. Press the right big toe down. Turn the arms, Urdhva Hastasana. Arms wide, down, and back to Tadasana. So, as you know, in asana, we're kind of training our limbs so that our bodies are skillful and refined. And this is how it helps us in the rest of it helps us with our mind, because we've started to refine the actions of the body. So now downward facing dog with the heels on the wall, but we're going to try and get the heels a little lower. So start with them up on the skirting, hips up, and then start to scrape the heels down, keeping the lift in the hips. So lift the hips, press the front thighs back. So start with the heels up a kika so you get the freedom in your lower back and the lift in the hips. Stretch up the backs of the thighs to the buttocks. Remember the turn of the arms, Louise. And then start to scrape your heels down the wall as you lift the fronts of your shins up. And step forwards to stand up. Then Gomukhasana arms. Do either arm. I'm not going to give you any specific instructions on the asana. I would stay standing. I just sat down. Well, if you're tired, you feel free to sit down if you're a little tired. I sat down so I can be close and see you. So Pratyahara is the journey from the skin inwards. So from the outside to the inside. It's that action of coming inwards. And then change the arms over. And today's class is starting in a way where I'm sharing my belief that sometimes our minds are so busy because we're doing things in our daily life, working, thinking about things, problem solving. Our mind is going really fast and the body is sluggish. It's going really slow. So if we go inwards, we can actually just be confused because we can't still the mind, and then when we do, we fall asleep. So there's not really clarity on the inside. So we're going to start today's class with speeding up the body so that it's going with the mind, and release the arms so that they're in the same speed. So come to the front of your mat and we're going to do Surya Namaskar. Join your feet, arms by your side, look straight ahead, feel your body breathing, notice your state of mind. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Then bend your knees and hop back or step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. That's it, well done. When you hop back, just have the hands flat so that it's more stable for the wrists. And then Chaturanga Dandasana, which is that press up one. So come forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. Keep your elbows in, lower your body down and pause at that point of Chaturanga Dandasana, and then lower yourself all the way down. Try and keep the elbows in. Then Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, move the sacrum forwards, lift the side chest up, keep your toes tucked under and your heels going back. Upward facing dog pose, thighs to the ceiling. Then exhale, downward facing dog pose. Bend your knees and step or jump forward. Make sure your feet are flat. Look forwards to your hands. So when you jump forwards, you don't hit your face. Then forward bend. Fan the legs as you stretch up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring the arms back down by your side. And again, same thing. Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. Breathe as you move, bend your knees, hop back. Shoulders over your wrists, try and get into that press up position on the way down. So pause for a moment, elbows in, tailbone in, thighs to the ceiling, body hovering just off the floor, lower eye, that's it. And then flat. Then roll your shoulders up, tuck your toes a bit more forward, and then bring your pelvis towards your wrist, lift your side chest up, thighs off the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Bend your knees, look forwards and hop forwards. Uttanasana. Uttanasana, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up, and Tadasana, and then face this way. So we're going to go into a couple of standing postures from what we call the jumpings. So I'm going to show it to you. So when we're in dog pose, we're going to come to Trikonasana. So I do a little hop to bring my right foot forward between my hands. If you've got any knee issues or you're feeling that it's not appropriate for you today, then you just step your foot forwards. But if you can, you do a hop. Then you turn this foot, and then at this point we're coming into triangle pose. So I've got to work on this buttock, this side of the sacrum. So as I come up, I've got to move this into the body and the buttock. I'm showing you with my hand, but the hand doesn't have to be there. So I'm moving it into the body, and then I'm in Trikonasana. And I keep rotating the trunk. And then turn to come down. And back. Then dog pose. Then the other way, so you'll be facing the other way. Okay, so do your first one, so you'll be facing me. So have your hands on this side of your mat. So your right foot's going to come forward, so your Trikonasana will be facing me. So inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, hop back. Then bring the right foot forward, or jump your right foot forwards. Keep the left leg back, that's it. Turn the left foot. Be careful it's not too wide. So remember the positioning of Trikonasana, how the legs are, where the heel must be in line with the sacrum, the right heel in line with the left arch. Check your alignment, everyone. You look a little wide, some of you. You might need to bring your feet a bit closer. That's it. And then as you come up, place the right hand on the shin, move the right buttock in and stretch the top arm up. Unravel yourself. Triangle pose. Straight leg. Straight leg. Breathe. Exhale, bring the left hand down, turn your left leg so you bend the right knee, turn the left leg. Go slowly a little bit if you need to so your body knows what you're doing. And then hop back. That's it. Then hop the left foot forwards between your hands. Good. Turn the right foot out. And as you straighten the leg, come up, bring the hand onto the shin. Move that left sacrum in. Straighten the leg before you fix the hand. Otherwise you might be stuck. That's it. Keep the waist back. Keep the waist back, chest back. Rotate the trunk. Feel how you're moving the coccyx in. Keep that left buttock long to the right heel. Spread and open up the chest. Then exhale. Lower the right arm, turn the right leg, bring your hand down, face the floor. Feel that connection between the body and the thigh, and then hop the left leg back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe here. Exhale, hop forwards to Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Urdhva Hastasana, up to the ceiling with the arms. Tadasana. Good. Now, Baddha Konasana. So I'm there. Then place the foot, check the alignment. Move this buttock in and roll the flesh. This rolls over and this rolls back. This goes in. Roll the barrel of the trunk. Your turn. So face the front of your mat. Be in Tadasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Standing forward bend. Hop back. So it'll be left leg back to begin with, right leg forward. Hop the right leg forward. Then come into Baddha Konasana. Turn the left foot, roll the barrel of the trunk. Move the right sacrum in. Roll the barrel of the trunk. Keep rolling, 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 and extend the arm up and over. Just lift your left leg a little bit. Bring your foot a bit closer, Louise. Just slightly low in the pelvis. Lift the pelvis up a little bit. You're just going a little down. That's better. Extend the arm. Then bring the arm down by your side. And as you turn your leg, turn your body to face the floor. Feel that body alongside the thigh. Long side body, and then hop that right leg back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now left side. Hop the left leg forward. Baddha Konasana on that left side. Keep the pelvis low and roll the left waist forward, the right waist back. Keep your body in touch with that leg. Come up a little higher, Hiko, your left knee's overshooting slightly. Ike, lengthen the left side of the body because the right side is too much lifting. So the left hand wants to be more near the ankle, and lengthen the left waist. You're overdoing the right side of the body and you're underdoing the left side. There's inequality. So bring the right hand down by your right hip. Yep, and lengthen that left waist. There. Now stretch over, but don't overlift that right ribs. Decompress the ribs. Rotate the arm in the socket. It's facing the wrong way, the shoulder. You haven't rotated the arm. Better. And then exhale. Bring the arm back down by your side, everyone. And then turn to the floor and hop back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then hop forward. Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Now Adho Mukha Virasana. Sit on your feet. Have your knees apart. And stretch forward between your legs. Rest your forehead down. Soften the groins. And inhale to come up. Then grab 2 blocks to sit on, 3 blocks actually, and have a strap handy. We're going to do Malasana, and the setup for the equipment is like an Olympic three tiers. So you've got your 2 blocks and then you've got 1 in the middle. And we're going to keep it in this direction rather than this direction. This is the wide way, this is the narrow way. And so that we can face sideways. So you're sitting on it the wide way and stretch your legs forward. So you'll find that you're exactly right. Oh, that's it, yeah. No. So if the blocks are, this is the wide way, this is the narrow way. So they're next to each other, the wide way, like 2 blocks. Yeah? And then place another one in the middle like that. Like this. Okay? So turn your kit, try again there, Louise, because you're nearly there, but it's just because of the colouring and the screen, you're just getting a bit, that's it. So keep it in that, don't turn it, don't turn it. That's what's going on, that's it. So keep it in that direction and then place it. Then sit in Dandasana and stretch your legs forward. Spread the soles of your feet. Awaken the skin on the soles of your feet. Spread the heels. Press your fingertips down. Lift the side body. Lengthen the sides of the trunk up. Then bend up both of your knees, bringing your heels onto the block and the feet together. Then lift yourself off the blocks with your knees together, stretch your arms forward. Lift your abdomen and your chest. Then separate your knees, keeping your heels and your inner edge of your feet down, and stretch forwards between your knees. Keep the knees squeezing in towards the armpits as you stretch your hands along the floor in front of your mat, on the front of your mat. So your body is going down between your legs and forwards. And your heels are pressing down, your hips are gripping in, and your knees are coming in towards the sides of your body as you continue to stretch forwards as far as you can. Keep your heels, inner heels, pressing down. Inhale, squeeze the knees together as you come up, stretch the arms forwards parallel to the floor, and then sit back down on the blocks, and then extend your legs forward. Now we're coming to Marichyasana One, so you probably just need to sit on the one block or on a blanket. Now I'm going to show you this pose in two directions so you can see how it works. You're going to stretch forwards to catch hold of your foot or your strap. Concave back, but this knee is still squeezing in towards the armpit, and then forward. The sides of your body are going to be long, so don't drop the elbows, because as soon as you drop the elbows, do you see how my back lifted? But if I lift the elbows, that part of the back can move in. So that's stage one, and then I'll show you stage two once we've done it both sides. So grab your strap. Stretch your legs. If you prefer to face straight rather than sideways, you're welcome to move your mat, because I know it can be hard to always turn your head to the side. So bend up your right leg. Place your strap around the left foot. Move the sacrum in, middle back in, shoulder blades in, lift your chest up. So your right arm is on the inside of your right knee. So it's important for us to notice which part of the body tends to be heavy. So don't overdo the light bit and underdo the heavy bit. Try to activate the heavy bit. Move it in, mobilize it, or at least send messages there to wake it up. Lift up, and then exhale, extend forwards, keeping the arms up as if you've got big armbands on. Extend forwards along your leg. Then this right side of the body, slide it along past your knee, but at the same time press the big toe down and keep the knee in towards the body. So we're doing a forward bend at this point, with the knee into the body. Head is pat down in line with the arms. And then exhale and inhale to come up. The other side, so stretch out your legs. Bend up the other leg, the left leg. Place your strap around the foot. Arm is on the inside. So we start with the concave back, and then we go forward. Lengthen the sides of the body forward. Feel this left side slipping past your thigh. So we're going forwards. Ears in line with the upper arms. Look down at the floor. Keep contracting that right thigh. Back into the hip. Lengthen the left waist forward. So looking down at the floor, head is not up. Spread your upper back. And then inhale to come up. And Uttanasana, both legs straight. So you can stay sitting up on a support, or you can, I was going to do it with the catching of the arm, but we'll not do that, we'll just carry on. You can sit on a support or sit flat on the floor. So stretch your legs in front of you, press your hands down. Uttanasana is straight leg forward bend. sit on a blanket because I like to have something that's slippery underneath the buttocks. Then you can go through the concave back stage. Keep drawing the legs into the hips and lengthen your waist forward. And then see how close to your shins you get. Exhale and then inhale and come up. And if you were reasonably close, I think most of you would be quite happy with a bolster on your shins, so that we can rest our head. And if the bolster is just a bit too low, then you can put a folded blanket or a couple of folded blankets on top. So now we've done it once without the bolster. Grab your bolster and we'll do it with now. So press the legs down, lift the trunk up, inner groins down, sides of the waist lifting. Then again, what's the pit of the back that's not moving? So we all got different bits which move, and sometimes it can be quite subtle. So see if you can feel your back and notice which part of the back is pushing in too much and which part's not lifting much at all. And then also notice how it's connected to the front of the body. So perhaps you're lifting your back, but you're not actually lifting the front of the body. Perhaps the abdomen is hanging down and there's no tone there. So see if you can get some lift of the front body to support the back body. And then lengthening the front of the body, lengthening the sides of the body and spreading the back of the body. Extend forwards along your legs. Then spread your elbows and try not to touch the front of your toes, but have your hands just on the backs of your feet. Elbows are supported on the bolster. Shoulders are broad. Head is resting. Feel your body as a whole in the asana. Keep moving the back ribs in, lengthening the waist and the armpits forward, resting the forehead. As you stay in the posture, there is a soothing, quiet calm, but don't let off the posture. So keep those back ribs gently pressing forwards towards the front, because otherwise, as you stay in the pose, you start to gently come out of it. But actually, as we stay in the pose, we want to become deeper and deeper in it, the body included. So the body and the mind and the heart are working together in this absorption. Then which parts of the body can you soften and relax, but stay in the posture? And exhale. Then inhale to come up. So we're just going to briefly do Kurmasana. This is the tortoise and is often used as an image of withdrawing the senses. So I just felt it was a lovely posture to share with you today. To make it slightly easier, because it's a forward bending movement, sit on your bolster so that when the knees are bent and the feet are up, you can get this movement between your legs. So you're coming between your legs like this. Can you see this? So the knees are, that's it, are by the shoulders. go forward, like how I showed. So the knees are bent, the feet are hip width apart. Is that hip width, everyone? Much closer, not too wide. Yeah. Knees are bent, and then go forwards between the legs. And then you slightly straighten the legs, but you also go forwards a bit more. Keep the sides of the waist long, keep the back ribs in and lengthen forwards and down. And then see how low your head goes. Exhale and inhale and come up. And then just place a couple of blocks there or a blanket so you can rest your forehead. You've got to be careful with this forward bend though, because there's something about it, because of going forward, because of the work in the hips, it requires more on the back than a standard forward bend. So you've just got to be a little bit more alert as to how your back is doing in the posture and how it is when you come out of it, and the recovery in between. Well, that's just my experience anyway. So I've got the block there. We're sitting up on height because that makes it easier for the back, because can you feel how much more kind of hinging power we've got by being on the height, right from the hips. And then we go forward. Now just before you go in, remember what I said before about this part of the back? This has got to move in, so the back of the body moves forward to the front of the body. And so the feet don't go wider than the mat. And then you come forward, and then you rest your head. So I can straighten the legs a little bit more, so I can go forwards and then rest my head. Now the pose actually takes, the arms go underneath the legs, but for today we're just doing it with the arms in front to get the length. So the feet don't go wider than the mat, and the knees are into the armpits, toes to the ceiling. Bend the knees, release the groins down and go forwards. Bend the knees more, I can be on your heels so the toes are up. That's it. Yeah. So roll the thighs in. Can you see the toes are already going out? Roll the thighs in. That's it. Bend the knees. So there's this kind of give and take as to how much do you take them wide, how much do you bend them, but you've also got to get the body forward. That's it. And extend forwards, lengthening the sides of the trunk, and then have the block as high as it needs to be so there's no strain, so you're not dropping the head, and the body is evenly lengthening forwards. Make sure the toes are not turning out. Keep the feet up so that grip is still happening in the hips. Spread the back and extend forward and rest. Exhale. And then inhale, lift your face, your chest, and come up to sitting. Extend your legs forward. Lift the sides of your trunk up. And we're going to do Uttanasana standing. So feet together, lift the legs up and extend your trunk down. So just from there itself, it should feel a bit easier than, so try not to stand up first. Just, if you can, just go straight into it with the feet together and the body releasing down. If your back is feeling a bit stiff, then you can have the feet apart. But let the elbows be wide and let the legs feel like they're going from the roots all the way up to the top branches, and let your trunk hang down and your head be like a fruit. And exhale. And as you inhale, feel your back spreading. And then bend your knees, to sit back down on the bolster and extend your legs forward. Then Bharadwajasana, just scoot your bolster over to the right and take your feet to the left. So it's like this, sort of side saddle. In fact, if you want to be slightly more accurate, you can make it at a slight angle. So take in case you didn't notice what I did, this right leg is tucked under this way, and this left leg stretching straight back. And then we're sitting in this Bharadwajasana, and then we'll turn to the right. So you can take your hand to the other side of that bolster. So we're not doing an impressive twist, we're doing a twist to release the back. Are your feet to the side there, Louise? It looks more like, is the right foot underneath it? Are they crossed over to the side? They are. Cool. Perfect. It looks very neat. That's great, well done. It looks so neat that it looks like you're in Virasana. Shoulder blades in, breastbone up. And centre. Straighten out your legs. And the other side. So stretch your legs, take them over to the left, and then just turn your bolster slightly at an angle so that means that the back of it is slightly further back for that left hand. And then turn. So feel how the height of the bolster helps the lower back to lift more easily, groins to soften, and then turn. So we're just doing this twist to release the back and to get some lift in the breastbone. Bend that left elbow so that the shoulder can go back. And centre, then stretch out your legs. Now set up for Sarvangasana, Halasana. Shoulder stand, plow pose. Have a chair for your feet if you need to in plow pose. If you're not doing inversions, if you're not doing shoulder stand, then you can do, you can do Setu Bandha. And then always have a launch pad. It's not because you can't go up, it's because it stops it from being a jerky movement. So first of all, go over into Halasana and get up onto the tops of your shoulders by interlacing your fingers, pressing the arms down to the floor and lifting the outer hips up. Then bring your hands into your upper back, suck your legs back into the pelvis so you can bring your legs to the ceiling. So interlace your fingers, tuck your shoulders under so you're right up on the tops of your shoulders. So your feet are on the floor in Halasana and your arms are on the ground, and you're interlacing your fingers so that you can go right on up onto the very tops of the shoulders. Press the arms down into the floor and lift your outer hips up to the ceiling. So we're interlacing our fingers and our arms are on the floor and our hips are lifting up and our legs are straight. So can you have your feet on the floor, Akiko? And we're in Halasana. If that's as long as you're not uncomfortable, then stay there and then interlace the fingers and then change the interlace. Now see how your legs are dropping. Press that's it. Lift the hips up off the waist. Then bring your hands into your upper back, and like your legs are dropping away from you as well. Your toes are tucked right under. That's making your back arch. You need to be, that's it, on the very tips. And now suck your heels towards you and your outer hips to your pelvis. Suck your legs onto your body like pulling the trigger of a gun. Draw the legs back tight, like that's it, Akiko. Tighten the bow and then you can take the legs up. There, that was beautiful, Akiko. So we can bring the legs together. If you can't do legs together, do one at a time, but get that action of drawing the legs onto the pelvis, like tightening the bow of a bow and arrow to take the legs up. Then separate the legs, roll the thighs in, and move the sacrum into the body and press the thighs back. So roll those thighs in, move the sacrum into the body. Roll the thighs in. Are your legs rolling in? Can you access those inner groins? Look at the feet. Are they turning inward slightly or are they still turning out? Better. Move those inner heels back. Good. And now lengthen up from the inner heel, the ankle, the inner ankle up to the inner heel. So you're lengthening the inner leg. And as you keep lengthening the inner leg, bring the legs together. So in our asana class, we're hoping to manage the activity, the rajasic activity of the mind, and connect more with the sattvic, more illuminative, stable, clear part of the mind or consciousness. Ekapada, keep the left leg as it is and extend the right leg towards the floor in line with the right ear. Keep both legs completely straight. Press the right thigh up to the ceiling. Keep your back lifting. And then raise the leg up. So there's an element of using your exhalation to release the leg down. So take the right leg down now and use the exhalation to release the leg down, but keep the hips firm. That's it, Louise. But be careful it doesn't disturb your balance. Release the leg down. And raise the leg up. If you've done more than one to each side, even it up. And then come to Halasana. Then Upavishta Konasana or Supta Konasana, which is Halasana with the legs apart. So support your back with your hands once you're down, and then walk your feet wide. Keep your back lifting. Then walk your feet together. And then slowly roll down. Then slide backwards and just catch the edge of your shoulders. Stop there. Just catch the edge of your shoulders on the edge of the blocks. So it's like a little setu bandha. So can you feel the shoulder blades pressing into the edge of the blocks? And then just have your feet apart, knees together. Or cross legs if that fits better for you at this moment in time. Shoulders are on the floor. Chest is open over the edge of the blocks. And then slide back. Roll to your side to come up. Then Viparita Karani with bolster under the buttocks, legs to the ceiling. Have a brick between. In fact, let's do it with a chair because I'm really loving doing this with a chair. Turn the chair so that it goes uphill, so the back is to you. And then you place your bolster. You can place a bit of blanket on the seat. And you can have a blanket for your head. So we're going to start with doing Viparita Karani. With the, can you see how my buttocks are hanging slightly over the edge of the bolster, so it's really supporting my waist. And then after we've done that for a little bit, we're going to lift up and just move that bolster out and be flat on the ground. Okay. So lie down with the, you may want to have something on the seat of the chair because the skin on the metal can be a bit chilly. And then sit on the bolster and let the buttocks hang over the back edge of the bolster. Rest the legs up on the chair. Take off your glasses, tuck your shoulders under, roll your arms out. So the bolster is kind of in the waist, lower back area. So it's Viparita Karani, but with a chair. So it supports a bit more than that Akiko. It's not different than what we normally do. It's just a little bit, I'm just focusing on the fact that a little bit of buttock hangs over the edge so that there's a sense of it going down, but not too much. Not too much. So I don't want to arch your back too much. It's more about spreading it. That's it. Tuck the shoulders under, roll the arms out. You're quite far from your chair, but you don't need to change it for today, but just for next time, have your chair a bit closer. So the thighs are a bit more upright. This is fine for now. Allow your abdomen to really spread from the center to the outside. Feel your normal breathing. Feel your out breath in your abdomen. Feel your body as a whole in the posture. And feel the breadth of your chest. And allow your inhalation to move into this space. So we're detaching from the activities of the day, the ways of the world, and connecting inwards. This is Pratyahara. Withdrawing inwards. Yet we do this with complete awareness of the physical body. So our physical body has been worked, awoken, and it feels alive yet is ready to rest. So in this state, gently settle your awareness inwards. And hopefully it feels more balanced than it might have been at the beginning of the class. Feel your exhalation in your abdomen, your inhalation in your chest. And now let's remove the bolster. Rest the buttocks down. So this is our start of our Shavasana, and in a couple of minutes we'll just stretch the legs through the chair. You just feel your back landed. Feel your body breathing. Your body is relaxed and your mind is becoming settled. And whilst your senses are drawn inwards, there's a real feeling of openness and presence. So as the ears draw in, the eyes draw in, the root of the tongue relaxes. The surface of the skin softens. And you can feel the gentle flow of air in your nostrils. Let our Pratyahara be a refinement and a culturing of the real beauty, consciousness that comes from refining the senses. So that when we go out into the world and we see a dewdrop on a leaf, we can really see its beauty, feel its beauty. Savouring the simple moments in life with our whole being. And then just slide your legs down and through the chair just for a minute or so, just to see that the body is flat and even to the ground. Just take your legs through the chair on the floor. Unless the back bar is really low, then you might need to move it slightly. Feel your skin breathing, each cell open. And as you breathe in, as we start to come out of our Shavasana, as you breathe in, feel that your awareness is now coming up to the surface of the skin once again, to this bark of the tree, this layer between the inner world and the outer world. Even though that's possibly not wholly true. So breathing in, touch the surface of the skin as if you're filled with light. And that light is reaching up to the surface of your skin and pouring out, radiating into the room. Radiating into the room through each pore of your being. So that as we connect inwards, we can also connect outwards. So rest your hands on your belly. And bend your knees. Roll over to your right side. And come up to sitting. Fold your palms. Check in. What's the mood of your body right now? And bow your head to your heart, to the wisdom mind in the heart. And rest your hands down. Raise your head up. Namaste. Thank you all. See you. Have a great weekend. Ike, see you later. And see the rest of you next week. Have you got a lift this evening, Ike?